Hey guys, it's Giant Musties. It's Saturday, December 1st, 2018, and today Tokyo, Japan is having their Comic-Con, and they have a special Godzilla panel there. Now, needless to say that there's going to be spoilers, but if you don't care about that, or you can't wait for the film, then welcome, let's get into it.
All this information here is from AnimeNewsNetwork.com.
So director Michael Dougherty, hopefully I'm saying his name right, he was personally there at the presentation, and he revealed some concept art. Now, this art that you're about to see is not the final version. However, the Monsterarts figures that were released look like they are, in fact, based on the final designs.
So first up, we have Mothra. If you look at the wings, they are intentionally designed to resemble Godzilla's eyes, and they definitely have that defensive intimidation look to them. I'm not sure if they will keep that. I'd be okay with it. I really like it. I hope it's not like directly described as having Godzilla inspired eyes in the movie, because there's no reason that he would evolve to resemble Godzilla in that sense. However, if it wants to be like a little Easter egg or whatever just for viewers, I'd be totally okay with that. Next up is Rodan. In this concept art, Rodan has feathers. However, that is not the final design. Rodan will not have feathers. He will have rocky, scaly texture on his wings. An adaptation to living in a volcano, as some people have noted already. It looks great, but it's still quite hard to see the actual finer details. And I think they're intentionally choosing that to keep certain things secret still. Not that there's going to be some big twist or surprise revolving around Rodan's design, but just because it's still half a year away. Finally, we have King Ghidorah here. Now, there's actually a lot to discuss here. In this first image, the scale size is extremely off-putting at first. I know King Ghidorah is supposed to dwarf Godzilla, but here, yeah, his heads are massive. I suppose this is right when he's first breaking out of the ice, because it looks like his body is underground, but he's so massive here. Almost a little too massive. I'm not going to complain because, I mean, as a design, it looks pretty great. So finally, you can see the military is retreating in this concept art. Then we also have in this second picture, beautiful color contrast. The first one's got this orangish look. This one's got this bluish green. This blue-green right here is actually very similar to what we see in the trailer. Blue-green glow from Mothra. Maybe it's the first reveal of the adult form when the eyes first appear. But beautiful concept art. However, if you look at this, okay, now the ratio of Godzilla's body to Ghidorah's body is a little more correct. Ghidorah is still massive, but not oversized. But here we have what looks like two Ghidorah heads on Ghidorah's body in to the right of Godzilla, or is that the background? It's hard to see the angle. But then we have these two elongated structures here to the left or to the front towards the camera. The one looks like a Ghidorah head, but why is it wrapped around Godzilla's back so long compared to the other two heads? Or if that's Ghidorah's tail, then that's still well over elongated. Also, we have this other tail wrapping up almost in between the two, which it could be Godzilla's tail, but why is it bent like that? I mean, it is just concept art, so perhaps this is why it's not the final design. But it's pretty interesting to look at just in general. Overall, I have no problem with any of these concept arts being the final designs other than what I specified. For Godzilla himself here, we have this picture, this little statue revealed. I assume this is the final design. If so, it looks beautiful. However, you'll notice some serious differences here. If this is the final design, I don't have a problem with it at all. I think it's actually spot on. At first, I was a little thrown off by some of the changes. The director, I believe, had specified that Godzilla is evolution personified, so that he would look different in this film. And that would explain why he looks different in like every Japanese film too. Some of the biggest differences is, of course, the dorsal spine and his toes. Now, at first I thought, oh wait, he only has 3 toes. But if you look at this right foot here, it looks like there is a 4th toe. It's hidden in the back here. It's just the one, I guess, middle toe now. Out of the 3 larger toes, the middle toe has overgrowth. And I'm actually really okay with this here. I like that they kept the little toe in the back, just to give some context to the relation to the first film. As for the dorsal fins themselves, They specify that they wanted it to look heavily inspired by the 1954 film. And there's some better images in the SH Monster Art figures we'll get to in a second here. But it definitely embodies that feeling. The rest of the body looks almost identical to the 2014 film. I'm okay with how the dorsal fins have grown so much. If they're made out of the same substance as his nails, then that would explain why his toe claws have grown so much also. Maybe it's just the positioning or angling here. I'm having a little bit of a hard time looking at this guy and seeing just 3 major claws on his right foot, which would be our left. It's funny that like everybody complained in the 2014 film that the feet were too stubby. I was actually very okay with how his feet looked. I adapted to that well, and I'm sure I'll adapt to this, but it is a little off-putting just looking at it. The one foot over here where you can see the smaller toe, it looks great. I don't know, will people still say this is too stubby because he doesn't have the angular feet as much? The tail itself is perhaps more elongated also. It might be wrapped up around the back, but to get that position of it curved up like that, I feel like his tail has increased in length. That's the only other difference I'm really picking up on here. There's still something that seems strange though, just seeing the Gareth Edward design with these feet, or the little differences that are there. I still like the design overall. I am not bashing it. I'm not being a hater. I really like it. So now, here are some of the Monsterarts figures. The Mothra one is still hard to see the body, but the Godzilla eyes are still there. If this is based on the final design, I'm okay with it. I still like to see the body a little bit more in detail. I mean, I'm just one fan, so I know they don't care about my approval of it, but I would like a little bit more of a detailed look at it. But I can't tell if these figures are actually based on the concept art or the final design, because if you look, I mean, that looks almost identical to what we just saw right there of the concept art for Mothra. But then if you look at Rodan, these are not feathered wings. These are the scaly rock-like texture ones. It looks great. However, I do gotta say that the face kind of looks like Jim Henson's Dark Crystal creatures. But overall, I mean, you cannot complain. I mean, we've waited how long to see these creatures on film, and somebody's actually doing them. And that's not bad. I mean, I guess if you really look at the Showa era Rodan, he is really goofy kind of looking. I'm not sure how I feel about the edge of the wings being so rounded out like this, though. I kind of wish they had like more of a sharper point to them and then a curve back like a pterodactyl, not like some flattened out patty edge. I'm nitpicking here, really, though. It's beautiful. Then here we have King Ghidorah. Now, this is extremely interesting here. You can see in the background here that he has the 2 tails here splitting off. The heads look, it's very dragon-like, but it's also very authentic. Oh, I can't imagine how much this is going to cost, but I would love to have that. I don't even collect the monster art figures outside of Godzilla. I've collected each of the Godzilla characters themselves, but I've never bought any of the Rodans or Space Godzillas. And I think NECA is going to be releasing figures, so I'll probably just get whatever they have of that. It's got 2 stands to hold up this massive wingspan. If this is the final design, I'm all for it. They did a great job on Ghidorah. I guess out of all the characters, I was most worried about Ghidorah just because they try to go for a realistic approach with these. If you look at Mothra, it's very insect-like. Rodan is just clearly dinosaur-like. Godzilla, I mean, his design was already done. But Godzilla's the only one besides Ghidorah that's more of like a mythical creature. So how do they give a realistic approach to this? And I feel like they got Ghidorah almost spot on right. I mean, they gave Godzilla really thick thighs, a 2014 film. Here, they didn't give Ghidorah really thick thighs, because I guess he has to fly, so they try to keep him a slender look. But I'm okay with this. This is, I mean, okay is an understatement. I'm ecstatic about this. If you look at all the rumors of Ghidorah walking around on winged arms, like in that concept art that might have leaked. I think they said it was originally for, not for Game of Thrones, was it? Or something else, but the studio was very adamant that that was not Ghidorah. It was just another 3-headed dragon in that leak that happened like a year ago. It's similar in a lot of ways, but the fact that he's standing on 2 legs and that he has those tails in the background to balance him out. He doesn't stand completely up straight, but he's not like crawling on 4 arms somewhere in the middle, kind of like Godzilla's hunched over. That is freaking fantastic. So finally, here's SH Monsterarts Godzilla 2019. Man, it feels good to say that. If you look at the dorsal spines here, yeah, that's definitely got some real homage to the 1954. Oh, Godzilla's face, even though it's spot on pretty much the 2014 figure, he's got this evil look to him. He's almost got that, he has a face that sort of resembles the Godzilla 1984 face, and maybe it's the eyebrows or something. He also has this anger look to him, like the Godzilla 2001 film, GMK. If you can see that the tail here is definitely changing too. It's getting a little more heavier base. Oh man, the more I look at this figure here, the more I love it. They got that blue background drop going on here from that blue glow you see in the trailer when he comes out of the water and blasts the sky. All right, guys. The film, as you know, is scheduled for May 31st, 2019. What do you guys think of the design? Do you need more time to let this sink in, or are you all for it, man? Let me know in the comments below. Are you hyped, more hyped, or did this kill your buzz? Don't say killed your buzz. Please don't say that, because I am so amped up about this right now. All right, guys. I'm hoping you're having a good day, a good weekend, and a good experience here. I'm Giant Mussies. Thanks for watching.